Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of 4 Kaiserreich as France. Let us continue on where we left it off. So we're very close to killing the American Union State. And also the second Weltkrieg will be happening very soon as well. I think France is justifying a war right now. Yeah, just Communist France justifying against us. I think us in this instance is Germany. But, you know, it still kind of works out. Little Rock, are you a core? You are a core. I mean, again, if we take, like, they're at 28%. Like, they're so close to actually collapsing. These cities don't matter. This little pocket doesn't matter either. Russia's actually... Okay, Russia actually pulled the trigger first. Russia has invaded the Reichspakt. And I'm basically... I mean, I'm not okay with that, because Germany losing the second Weltkrieg basically means that we lose as well, because, I mean, the Entente isn't really strong enough to win the war easily on our own. Like, if we had maybe the backing of the United States, things would be different, but it's hard to say. I want more military factories in northern France. I'm going to now reposition our army back up to Algiers. We're not going to prepare a naval invasion quite yet. If we were to navally invade, I think we would probably invade Spain first before we try moving troops into France itself, into the metropole. Chile joining International. That is A-okay. What are you guys? You're really not doing too much. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about you then. What about Dallas? Do you think we can walk our way to Dallas? Or do you think that's not going to work out as well as I think? Okay, so we got a new melodrama. You can read this on your own. I'm not going to read this one. I'm actually surprised how many events France has had. Not that I'm complaining. I like all the events. Move you here. We got American troops coming in here as well. They took Austin. You're down to 23. Like, they're so close. I think Dallas might do it. But it's hard for me to actually say with any actual confidence. I mean, as soon as we're done being attacked by this American Union State troop, we should end up winning. Italy joining International, not a big surprise. Sicily join the Reichspakt, and there we go. American Union State has now collapsed. And then basically everything here just goes to MacArthur's government. Submit those demands in, confirm an exit. And now, as far as I'm concerned, what are you? You're 4355. 5344. I'm gonna put everybody into this army. Do you have any good modifiers? I mean, movement on Brit land is not bad. We're gonna, yeah, send everybody over to this front. And you know what? We will start preparing a naval invasion. Let's just go from here. What would be the best place to land? Probably in Danga up here. Definitely butchering that pronunciation, but there we go. It's also a very short trip, and that's important. Don't send a motorized division. Send in you two. Then in, I think this is like a camel division, if I'm not mistaken. Let's send in these 5 units. Send these 5 units up north. Riga's fallen. So Russia is already immediately killed off Georgia. They've immediately killed off Estonia. Riga's already fallen. Germany is not having a great opening here, I will say. I mean, they pushed into... Actually, it's the opposite. France is pushing Alsace-Lorraine a little bit, which does worry me a bit, but I think we should be more or less okay. And again, I'm not going to start the war until at least all of my units are back on the home front here. Yeah, and I'm personally not going to worry about the United States. Or not, I'm not going to worry about the Pacific states. That could be the Canadians. I mean, the Americans are here as well. MacArthur's putting too many units on the Canadian border. I'm not happy with that. Because what that does for us is that it means that it'll be longer and longer until MacArthur can actually kill off the Sacramento government, which is not what I want. I want them to win that war as quickly as humanly possible. And the faster, the better, obviously. You got troops over here. I mean, how many troops does Iberia already have in total? 14 to 86. That's a very large range, by the way. I can train up some of you guys as well. Give me a 10 stack, please. A traitor! Enter the Islam, a monthly academic magazine dedicated to Islamic studies, has enjoyed a well-deserved success even among relatively mainstream audience. At least for this kind of publication. Our current exile has led many particular academics and clergymen to seek a better understanding of the faith of so many of our countrymen. Some out of a genuine interest or hope of interfaith dialogue, while others dream of a large-scale conversion of the indigenous to Christianity. A recent open letter published anonymously in El Terra de Islam is threatening the fragile religious equilibrium. However, the letter calling for the formation of a Friday prayer league for the conversion of the Muslims to pray for our estranged brothers, as well, was well received within Catholic circles and may have likely not reached Muslim audiences if not for the identity of the author. Leaked by the wider press in the following days, Father Jean Mohammed bin Abdelish. The man was recently ordained to priesthood, becoming a professor at the Catholic Institute of Algiers last year. And yet, 10 years ago, he was its first Muslim student. Coming from a prominent Moroccan family, a brilliant youth, fervent in his faith, he came under protection of the Marshal Letier, who encouraged him to further studies in Algiers. There he met famed Orientalist Louis Mengon, the Catholic philosopher Jacques Martin. He has joined hoping to study the enemy. A year later, he would convert. 2 years and he joined the Francian Order. This high-profile conversion had largely been swept under the rug due to fears of unrest, possibly being a particularly severe act in Islam. Such fears have been confirmed. The letter, translated and mistranslated, was widely shared in mosques and madrasas, and was overwhelmingly received with contempt, if not anger, with even threats being directed towards Father Jean Mohammed, who has gone into hiding. Negative 10 political power there. Fantastic. What do I do with... I mean, offensive doctrine's always kind of nice. Yeah, go offensive doctrine here. Did it just say that Iran declared war on the Ottoman Empire? Were they not already at war with each other? Wait a second. What's in Iran and... They would truce with the Ottoman Empire. Wait, what? I think the, like, event broke or something like that. I'm not too sure what happened over there. Okay, but our units are almost home. Where's my navy? I mean, I know it's like... We have 10 more ships. What are you? You're a pretty basic fleet. I probably shouldn't give you my best admiral. Actually, no, you're already bet. You're a 4-4... You're a 4-2-2-3. Okay, and what are you? You're a 3-2-3-3? Okay, yeah, you're basically as good as we have. Okay. We got Spanish forces here. We don't have Spanish forces. Do we have Spanish forces in this port? No, we do not. Okay, so actually I want to go from... this shift of orders here. Yeah, you're going to go here instead. The CGTT starts a strike. The General Confederation of the Tunisian Workers, founded in the 1920s by Mohammed Ali Al-Hami, and notice emphasized the syndicalists beyond the sea. We, of course, quickly put him out at the time and forbade the CGTT, but it didn't stop him from existing on the ground. The Union always was close to the Tunisian nationalists of the Distort Party, and the two underground organizations often worked together. This time, they worked to foment a strike among the Tunis dockers and several factories in the south of Tunisia and in Tunis. The syndicalist propaganda wasn't already threatening enough. The strikes have also been put to the forefront of word of independence for Tunisia. An absurdity, of course, but one these workers seem to believe in. In any way, it's going to be a time for a bit of cleansing of the docks to the port of Tunis, and if the strikers won't disperse themselves, you'll have to send in the army. Fantastic. Happy to have it. What can I do with you? I have a lot of political power. Can I do anything to, Heroism sent in the army. Factory output goes down, which is not what I want. How many more days until you're done? How many days on you? You're 30 days. Let's go to war with the commune. Our units should be arriving home in time. Radar tech. You know what? Give me a naval bonus here. I mean, Austria's hanging out. They haven't unified quite yet, but I'm sure they will at some point. And they have a direct border with Italy, which is something to worry about. And also, the British have landed in the Netherlands. Are they going to kill the Dutch right away? They might. They might. The Internationale might just kill the Dutch. They're just going to open up a border all the way along the German front, which is not extremely good. I would go so far as to say that it's pretty bad. The burnt out village. I go after them. Why not? Algerian nationalist books have been seized. Nice 25 political power. And where are you guys? Why did you go to Dakar? It was the. Actually, you know why? It's probably because you're now at war. It's now contested. Oh, no, but I'm neutral, so I should be able to go through, right? Hey, we got a slave caravan. 25 political power, a little bit of stability, some more compliance. Happy to have all of that. How's occupied territory going, by the way? Algeria, again, I don't believe Algeria can actually rise up. I mean, I know that. Actually, it says right here. So, Tunisia declares independence. A revolt declares independence. Wahadi Empire declares independence. Mauritania, Niger, Ivory Coast, Guyana, Mali. But, yeah, Algeria does not have an event. Malta doesn't either. Okay. The king is dead. His Majesty Jean III, by grace of God, the most Christian king of France, has passed away peacefully at 65 years old in his palace in Algiers. Until his last breath, our king had been eager to serve his country and his nation in the a place that was his, a country that he loves with unconditional love, the love of the father for France and for the French, considering each as his children. Having served in the Great War since his rise as head of the French Capons, he worked tirelessly to propose an alternative to the failing republic, and after de Gaulle's faithful call to restore the monarchy, to implement the deep reform needed to truly restore the Kingdom of France. But the burden of his increased responsibilities proved too much to bear for the monarch. Already deeply affected by the defeat in the exile, and his health had been a steady decline for some time. The Dauphin had stepped in to relieve his father, but it wasn't sufficient. And those in the know knew that the passing of the king was only a matter of time. Part of the John III's dream was to see his kingdom restored has come true, with his family tending to him in his last moments, particularly his son, the Dauphin, and his grandson, Henry. He knew that the future was assured, and that he was leaving the kingdom in good hands, that France would soon be freed, that all the sacrifices endured by his people and by himself would not be in vain. That, at least, he could rest. A week of national mourning had been decreed, at the end of which King Jean will be buried. Jean departed from the world, and now close to God, is succeeded by his eldest son, Henry, 32 years old. An energetic young man, had been particularly active in working towards the restoration in the cooperation with Action Francais. Then since his father's coronation in the matter of state. These last few years, bustling political activity have made sure the young prince is more than ready as a statesman and a shrewd politician, and as king, to further his father's dream. The king is dead. Long live the king. We've got a new king now, Henry the... That's an unfortunate looking, like, 32 years old. Anyways. Anybody in Chief of Navy? We could. Decisive battle. You know what? Screen attack. Naval air aviation. You know what? Give me this guy. We're gonna assign you here. We're gonna assign you here. I mean, we've still got a lot of tanks. We've still got a lot of trucks as well. So you know what? Give me... Yeah, give me 4 more rows of tank production. Please and thank you. And when does the war actually break out? 1 more week from now. And we'll be ready to go. 100%. How are you guys doing? I mean, you're pushing the PSA a little bit. But honestly, they're not really doing a great job. We need more guns still. You know what? I'm gonna put another 5 on this. I think it makes sense. And aside from that, Party Commune looks like they might end up unifying India. Ottoman Empire, they're still fighting for their life, man. I kind of believe in them, but at the same time, I definitely don't. Okay, Sweden's almost been killed off by Norway. Finland is losing territory to the Russians. I don't think that this is going to be an easy Second Weltkrieg. I think things will be a lot more difficult than I am anticipating. But with the war declared, I think this is going to be a good time for us to end this episode off for today. So tune in next time for the Second Weltkrieg. But until then, thanks everybody for watching. My name is Anthony. If you enjoyed, my thumbs up. Not enjoying, click thumb down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.